Salve guardián de la llama, yo soy vuestro caballero comendador Saint Germain. Os bendigo y os amo por siempre.
Get it out of your system. So we're not going to do that tomorrow. Okay, please be seated. 9 embodiments of Saint Germain. Take out your notes if you want to. He was ruler of the Golden Age civilization in the Sahara more than 50,000 years ago. If you don't have your notebooks and pencils, you're welcome to get them. He was high priest on Atlantis 13,000 years ago. He was Samuel the prophet about 1050 BC. He was Saint Joseph, father of Jesus, husband of Mary. He was Saint Alban in the 3rd century AD, Merlin in the 5th century, Roger Bacon in 1214 to 1294, Christopher Columbus 1451 to 1506, and Francis Bacon 1561 to 1626. If you didn't get all that down, it's in your book, The Lords of the Seven Rays. The point is, in all these embodiments, is that he lived to make us free. Saint Germain lived to make us free. That, in a phrase, sums up Saint Germain's many incarnations. On June 27th, 1992, Saint Germain spoke of his incarnations. He said, I come to you containing in my causal body long ages of preparation. I did reincarnate again and again, and you are not aware of the many incarnations as high priest, as scientist, alchemist, originator of dispensations of the 7th ray in every age to the very limit that that age could endure, and that would be provided for by dispensations from the solar logoi. So what we see in the heart of Saint Germain is the desire to keep on reincarnating for as long as possible, all the way back to that golden age of Jesus Christ on Atlantis, and Saint Germain's part that he has played in very ancient times. Lifetime by lifetime by lifetime, what he was doing is to lay the foundations for the golden age of Aquarius, plant the seeds, till the fallow earth of the mind of the people, bring in culture through the Shakespearean plays, set the foundations of science, on and on and on again. Long-term planning, steady plodding, steady going after what you want and getting it. That's the great example of Saint Germain to all of us. Throughout the present age of Pisces and before, Saint Germain has been the very living embodiment of freedom. He comes to the fore today as the sponsor of the new age. He holds the offices of Lord of the 7th Ray, God of freedom to the earth, in the hierarchy of the Great White Brotherhood. He's the sponsor of modern science, the guardian of advanced scientific inventions intended to come forth in the golden age when people prove themselves responsible. In his final incarnation as Francis Bacon, he paved the way for Aquarian age science, which we are making use of today. Francis Bacon is known as the father of inductive reasoning and the scientific method. These contributions, more than any others, are responsible for our modern age of technology. On April 16, 1988, Saint Germain spoke of his preparation for his service in this age. He said, "I have spent the decades and centuries in the caves of the Himalayas and in the plains of Nirvana. I come from a long preparation to embody the soul, the law, the flame, the ray that is called Aquarius. Freedom is my name. I am at hand as much able to teach you the path of the Eastern adepts. I have chosen to give you instead the formula from God for the Western disciple." End of quote. After his ascension in 1684, Saint Germain was given the dispensation by the Lords of Karma to return to earth and manifest in a physical body. He appeared throughout the 18th century courts as the Wonder Man of Europe, the Count Saint Germain. Tragically, the royalty failed to heed his counsel and the French Revolution ensued. Next, the Wonder Man sponsored Napoleon in an attempt to create a United States of Europe. Ambitious and foolhardy, Napoleon took Saint Germain's power but not his advice. The master withdrew and Napoleon met his Waterloo. On October 14, 1991, Saint Germain spoke of his experiences as the Wonder Man of Europe. He said, "Yes, I was the Count, and I attempted to avert war in that time. It was not possible, for the heads of state did not lend me their ears, nor did they accept my advice when I gave it. I demonstrated a path and a mastery, yet none could relate to it." We are republishing Saint Germain on alchemy, and if you desire to share with everyone you know the heart of Saint Germain, the book has a new cover for the 1990s. It's got different editions in the back and inside covers and what is quoted and so forth. And it's a really charming edition for bringing to the fore again not only the 4 books that are in it, but also the stories about the Wonder Man of Europe. He said, "For the books were not written, the violet flame dispensation had not come, nor the opportunity to give to the masses of the people by mass communication the understanding of the science of decrees. There was no means whereby the rank and file or the royalty themselves could follow a path in my footsteps. All they could have was the stamping upon their memory of my demonstrations of alchemical feats. The dispensation was not yet ready to bring the violet flame to the masses of the people. That happened at about 1930 through Godfrey and Lotus." Saint Germain says, "Nevertheless, it was useful to leave the record, and many have never forgot the name Saint Germain." Another time, Saint Germain said of his experiment in Europe, "Having failed in securing the attention of the court of France and others of the crowned heads of Europe, I turned myself to the perfectionment of mankind at large, and I recognized that there were many who, hungering and thirsting after righteousness, would indeed be filled with the concept of a perfect union, which would inspire them to take dominion over the new world and create a union among the sovereign states. Thus the United States was born as a child of my heart, and the American Revolution was the means of bringing freedom in all of its glory into manifestation from the East unto the West." In his devotion to the cause of freedom, the Wonder Man had been working on many fronts. Even before the debacle in France, Saint Germain was busy forming a more perfect union out of the 13 colonies. He stood by George Washington throughout the American Revolution and during the long winter at Valley Forge. According to tradition, on July 4th, 1776, he inspired upon one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence an impassioned speech urging the patriots to sign that document. He inspired the designing of the American flag, directed the writing of the Constitution, and anointed George Washington the first President of the United States. With America secured as a land of opportunity, Saint Germain devoted himself to raising the consciousness of her people. In the latter 19th century, he assisted the Masters M. El Morya, K.H. Kutumi, and Serapis Bey in the founding of the Theosophical Society. In this century, Saint Germain went before the Lords of Karma with a proposal to make the knowledge of the violet flame available to all mankind. As collateral for this dispensation, Saint Germain offered his own personal momentum of the seventh ray that he had garnered for thousands of years. The knowledge of the violet flame had never been given outside the retreats of the Great White Brotherhood, except in the case of a great master such as Jesus, giving it to his chosen disciple, as Jesus gave the knowledge of the violet flame to John the Beloved. The lords of karma agreed, however, to release it to a certain nucleus of devotees. If the experiment proved successful, they would illumine the masses as to its uses. In the early 1930s, therefore, Saint Germain founded the I Am movement and released the dispensation of the violet flame. What great hope, what great heartedness Saint Germain must have had that day when he literally unfurled the great ribbons of the violet flame that we have been blessed with ever since. But when mankind en masse failed to respond, the lords of karma told Saint Germain they would not give him another allotment of energy for mankind to take and to dissipate and to waste. Saint Germain said, after I had spent thousands of years sponsoring various endeavors for the enlightenment and the freedom of mankind, my wings were clipped, and I had but to stand and hope that some other hierarch would come forth to implore a dispensation of light for humanity, for souls of light. As you know so well, in 1958, El Morya came to the rescue and founded the Summit Lighthouse on behalf of Saint Germain. In 1961, El Morya authorized the formation of the Keepers of the Flame fraternity. Saint Germain went before the Lords of Karma and received permission to sponsor the fraternity as its knight commander. El Morya spoke of his devotion to Saint Germain on July 4, 1981. He said, I must tell you that it is the heart of perfect love for freedom that has burned in the very breast of Saint Germain, that has given to me my own calling, my own fervor, and my determination to serve his cause, to found the Darjeeling Council of the Great White Brotherhood, and to dedicate it to all for which Saint Germain has stood these many hundreds of thousands of years. Blessed hearts, we share together the determination that there is nothing too small or too great which, when asked for by Saint Germain, we will not do, we will not cherish, we will not pursue, we will not give our all to the consummation thereof. End of quote from El Morya. Working with unascended humanity is risky business for an ascended master. By the way, it's risky business to be a chela down here. Saint Germain's sponsorship of faithless individuals who betrayed the cause of freedom has cost him dearly over the centuries. This has earned him a reputation which he told us about on October 6, 1983. Saint Germain said, "They call me the karma-making ascended master." Sometimes I wonder if I have more debts on my ledger than credits. Beloved ones, there are some days I prefer not to look. Instead, I go forth performing good works and deeds and a sacred labor, hoping that at the end of the day I have increased more light in the cosmos than those who represent me have sent forth by way of darkness. Now there's an eternal optimist if I ever saw one. On July 1st, 1984, Arcturus and Victoria announced the beginning of a 72-week vigil on Saint Germain's behalf. The Elohim said, "Your service in the 72 weeks can lay before the Lords of Karma through the violet flame, through your invocations, the paying of the last farthing of all that has become the debt of Saint Germain, who therefore will once again be permitted to go before not only the Lords of Karma, but the great central sun for a brand new dispensation of light." Arcturus and Victoria said this debt had been incurred over the last 400 years. As the conclusion of the 72-week cycle approached in 1985, Archangel Raphael declared on October 12, "Beloved hearts, it is the hour for Saint Germain to appear across the continents and the nations. Therefore we suggest that you study in earnest the teachings of Saint Germain, and that all of these be published at once. For truly it is the hour for the inauguration of the Aquarian age and of Saint Germain's mission. I call to your attention how great is the mission. For without the enlightenment and the sponsorship of Saint Germain, igniting, clarifying, and delivering the full prophecy on the teachings of Jesus, the world cannot fully come into the demonstration of the words and works of Jesus Christ, which they so need for the victory of every nation." On October 17, 1985, I began a 25-city lecture tour throughout Europe and Canada. The tour ended with a stop in New York City. On October 13, 1985, 2 days before I left with my stump team, Saint Germain blessed the team and said, "If you so multiply my presence as I would and as I And as I have taught you, so you shall earn for me the return of that jewel which I long ago laid upon the altar of God in behalf of Europe. Thus, having that jewel returned, I may act once again with greater dominion in the physical octave, because it is your will that I might intercede. In the same dictation, beloved Portia then made a surprise announcement. The Lords of Karma this day do give to Saint Germain from the Cosmic Council that which is unexpected unto him. That mantle he has sought to earn by this mission we give in advance, that he might have the wherewithal to do greater works through you. And so we respond to the dedication of the European keepers of the flame and those of the Isles. Blessed ones, Archangel Zadkiel and Holy Amethyst, place this purple robe upon Saint Germain in the gratitude of all of Cosmos for his service untiring, and for your response to that service and for his movement through the earth. The stump concluded in New York on November 17, 1985, the final day of the 72-week vigil. The Goddess of Liberty announced that the last vestiges of the untransmuted burdens of Saint Germain were swiftly passing into the flame, and asked that we continue the vigil. By the end of the year, transmutation was complete. Gautama Buddha made the joyous announcement on January 1, 1986, of the total balancing of Saint Germain's karmic debt. It was an historic and moving moment to witness Saint Germain's jewel being returned to him by the hand of his beloved Portia, and to hear the Knight Commander's gracious thanks and his plans for the future. With his karmic ledger cleared of debts, Saint Germain's mission got into full swing with support on every front from the Great White Brotherhood. On February 21, 1987, Ascended Master Enoch said, I come to praise Saint Germain that you might know of his tireless efforts and of the support of cosmic beings and the Brotherhood in his intense effort to intercede where no intercession was thought possible. Many ancients walk up and down America, many, beloved, for the love of Saint Germain. They preach, they rebuke. The souls hear them. Thus they begin to be attuned to this messenger and the prophecies of the Ascended Masters. In New York City on October 2, 1987, El Moria told us that Saint Germain had once again laid down his life for this nation. Moria said, let all you who hear me speak for the first time remember to keep the flame and to sign that document to be a keeper of the flame, even as the early American patriots signed that document in Independence Hall. There comes a time when life and destiny necessitates the signing of one's name to a cause. O people of America, will you sign your name next to the signing of Saint Germain's name by himself, our noble Knight Commander? I tell you, beloved, this hour in the Darjeeling Council chambers, Saint Germain has stood and signed his name once again to a document that is for the saving of this nation under God, that this nation might be the open door to that salvation of Mother Liberty to all nations. He has stood before us to give an impassioned speech concerning the giving of his life once again, if our Father will accept his offering. Saint Germain desires only to save this nation and this people as a bulwark of defense to all and to all enlightenment. Blessed hearts, I tell you, it is not the taking of a vow nor the mere signing of the name, but it is the activation of the resources of one's causal body in a marathon that must continue until safety is won. Those hearts who would participate in this cause may go to Darjeeling this night. Our doors are open to any and all patriots of the world who will defend freedom and sign this document with Saint Germain. Do not take the opportunity lightly, beloved, for this signing is the signing of one's life as he has signed for his life. That is the end of El Moria's quote. In the fall of 1987, Saint Germain launched a stump of 17 cities in the Midwest and on the East Coast. Night after night, he delivered his message to the people of America through my stump lecture. He warned, admonished, taught, comforted, and prophesied. Above all, he exhorted Americans to implement strategic defense as the urgent need of the hour on behalf of preserving freedom. Saint Germain left no stone unturned in his relentless effort to change the handwriting on the karmic wall. On October 14, 1991, Saint Germain spoke of the response to his message. He paralleled it with the response he had received as the Wonder Man of Europe. He said, I am in the same position this day, beloved, for I have transmitted to the leadership of the free world and all those who are the servants of Jesus Christ what is the true action that is necessary. They have received this at inner levels in the retreats of the Brotherhood, and on certain occasions I have actually manifested to speak to your leaders. Blessed hearts, they have not received the message. Some have turned a deaf ear, some have refused to recognize that I am Saint Germain. For one or more reasons of human compromise, I have faced the same response that I faced in the hours preceding the French Revolution. So you understand, beloved, that God abides free will in all octaves, and the ascended masters may not force themselves upon embodied individuals. End of Saint Germain's quote. Thus history repeats itself, and once again the same response has necessitated the master's departure. On November 29, 1987, it was a sad day in this nation's history. On that day in Washington, D.C., Saint Germain announced his withdrawal from the nation's capital. In almost disbelief, we heard him declare, "It is the last time that I shall appear in this nation's capital unless and until those who know better do better, until those who have seen my calling and heard my word respond to it and postpone not the day of our God's appearing. Lo, my presence has counted for ye all for millions of years in this earth and in higher octaves. In joy and love and with what fond purpose I have sponsored this nation and this opportunity. Keepers of the flame, by your leave I am sent from the great central sun to stand in the midst of this city as a pillar of violet flame, my aura then sealing a destiny far spent. For America has abdicated her role as the nation of Christhood, the eternal law of God, as the nation wherein the Lord our righteousness should raise up a standard, an ensign of the people and a two-edged sword. Thus, beloved, though your hearts and yours alone, the light bearers in all the earth, those who know me and may not know my name, but have espoused the cause of freedom and of peace, through them I shall continue to work. But I shall not be here, beloved, to deliver to you another statement of my word or my call, unless the representatives of the people from the highest office in the land to the least shall take their stand for the defense of freedom. Therefore know, O city of an alabaster light, O city that is become cast in the very mold of the God-star, O city that has been cast in the very mold of the God-star, I shall leave when my messenger does leave and my keepers of the flame have concluded their vigil. This nation has received not only my sponsorship, but the sponsorship of cosmic beings and councils and of the entire spirit of the Great White Brotherhood. Heaven expects a response, a recompense. Know then, O beloved, that footprint for footprint, if America and the earth shall long desire the presence of Saint Germain with them, they must forge a fire, truly a violet flame fire, where I may place my feet. Wheresoever a pillar of violet flame is raised up, because it is the equivalency of my presence, I shall be there. In the highest octaves of cosmos with Portia, I pursue dispensations ye know not of. Occupy a city for me, beloved, for I, Saint Germain, am determined to return when you shall have fulfilled your reason for being here." End of quote. At midnight on November 30th, the keepers of the flame concluded their vigil in Washington, D.C. I saw Saint Germain don his purple cape, wrap it around itself, and leave the city. He walked toward the northern Rockies. On December 8, Mikhail Gorbachev arrived in Washington to sign the INF Treaty with President Reagan. Clearly, the leadership of the nation had made their choice for anti-freedom instead of the God of freedom. The great divine director is Saint Germain's guru. On July 5, 1988, he spoke compassionately of the plight that had come upon his Chela. He also told us how we could come to Saint Germain's aid and help regain for him what had been lost. He said, I come to you, beloved ones, to explain to you that though in recent years by your service Saint Germain did gain his freedom from the karmic abuses of the violet flame of many life streams, in this hour of the failure of the leadership of this nation to heed his call and warning and communications at inner levels, he has, as it were, lost the ability to seek new dispensations. Beloved ones, today all that he can bequeath to any is what the very ones who shall benefit by the dispensation shall invoke. It is almost like your modern banking houses, where if you desire to have a loan and if you have no credit, you are required to have on deposit the full amount of the loan you would take out from the bank. Blessed ones, the Master, therefore, being desirous of helping you, has provided you with an understanding of numerous avenues of individual acceleration on the path, whereby a greater balance could be held on the earth and greater good karma accrue to you. I would like to add to this, beloved ones, something that the beloved Saint Germain would not say to you, for he would not put upon you even the slightest pressure to engage in service that may not be in fact to your desiring. Thus it is so that the great good karma you make in the saving of a planet and America will indeed go directly to his mantle and heart and causal body, and thereby regain for him what has been lost to the actions of this government which were causative in his leaving the nation's capital. Blessed ones, if his return must be preceded by the defense of freedom, spiritually, militarily, then we must all have profound compassion, as in reviewing the facts and circumstances, it is quite plain that this event is not about to occur on the morrow. Omritas, ruler of the Violet Planet, had profound compassion for Saint Germain. In 1991, Omritas delivered to Earth a dispensation of stupendous proportion. He presented it as a surprise gift at the anniversary celebration of Saint Germain's Ascension Day on May 1st. Before he unveiled the gift, Omritas told us about the history of the Violet Planet. He said they had faced a crisis similar to what we face today. The representative of the Divine Mother there rallied the people to give violet flame invocations at altars around the planet. Omritas declared, "We went on into a golden age because of the few who responded, and today that planet is sustained in that golden age because the people have not lost the memory of that which was almost a planetary holocaust." I would remind you that in the battles of the history of Earth, the few have stood for the many. They have rallied and won a victory for those who yet slept. May you know that by calling to me, you will have access to many millions of adepts of the seventh ray who will help you, that it is indeed possible that this message be delivered, that the people who have the awareness will hear, will invoke the light, will overcome. Then Omritas presented his gift. Therefore I deposit in the heart of the earth a dispensation immense of concentrated violet flame. Through your holy Christ self it shall be meted out as an unguent, as an elixir. May you drink of it in the hours of need and in your hours of strength, and keep it replenished by new calls to the violet flame. It is a giant violet flame reservoir as a sea of light pulsating. So know, beloved, that I could obtain this dispensation where Saint Germain could not. Let us see what great victory can come out of the light bearers stationed on planet Earth. Saint Germain was moved to tears by this unprecedented dispensation from Omritas. On the same day, Saint Germain delivered another landmark dispensation. He said, "Wherever 2 or 3 gather in my name, in any city or home upon the planet, there shall be formed the outline of a Maltese cross. It is an outline only, beloved. It is an outline that can be occupied by priests of the order of Melchizedek and violet flame angels of the order of Zadkiel. It is an outline whereby, if you will call daily to the violet flame, not missing a day, beloved, if you will give your invocations, if you will use the tapes provided by the messenger, therefore uniting your voices with many who have gathered in the inner retreat, therefore drawing that inner retreat to your place, you will know that one by one priests of the sacred fire of the seventh ray will come forth to fill in the outline of the Maltese cross. And if there be no violet flame invocations, then there shall be a disintegration of the outline and its vacating by these beings of the seventh ray. Let us see then what mark those who have been with me for thousands of years shall leave upon the decade. May it be a violet flame cross, a Maltese cross, over your home and city. and may it be filled in anew each day with violet flame as angels and priests and priestesses take up the holding of that focus. On July 4th, 1991, Saint Germain told us about another gift from Omri Tas. Saint Germain said, Omri Tas has loaned to me his mantle whereby I might also, out of his sponsorship, give that portion of myself that I desire to give. For he does tell me that he does have enough of a cosmic momentum on the seventh ray to spare. End of quote by Saint Germain. October 12, 1992 was the 500th anniversary of Columbus' discovery of America. On that occasion, Saint Germain released a momentous dispensation. He said, "Now is the hour. I now release from my causal body of light to America and to the earth for the keeping in the heart of the Goddess of Liberty a dispensation of light that is truly the dispensation for the golden age of Aquarius to manifest. This civilization shall precipitate from the highest levels of the etheric on down, until one day it shall be fully physical. This golden age is being precipitated from the etheric octave. It shall not be deterred. It shall not be turned back. And if God forbid those who have the torch of freedom in the physical octave should fail, this which is a building here shall be transferred to another planetary home. For I tell you, the age of Aquarius must come. Whether here or elsewhere, it shall be. The alternative could come to pass and pass away, and yet it should not disturb this building in the etheric octave." Sealed in the etheric octave and out of harm's way, if not accepted by Earth's evolutions, you can see how the great law minimized Saint Germain's potential losses should the dispensation of the unleashing of the golden age of Aquarius be misused. On August 30th, 1992, Saint Germain made this joyous announcement: "I am yet in the business of securing grants from the Karmic Board and the Cosmic Council, and I have secured a grant, beloved. Therefore I am very, very happy this day. You have been told that grants do not come easy to the Ascended Masters in this hour, and therefore it is considered a great boon by all of the Darjeeling Council, who are looking over my shoulder now, wondering what I will do with this grant. Well, I can assure you, beloved ones, from our experience in recent and past history, that I shall not so liberally dispense the energies and the backing that come with this grant. But I want you to know that it is here, and that it is here for those selected Chelas who themselves select to walk the path in an extraordinary devotion, and who would seek, having had the disciplines of El Moria, and desiring to continue in his disciplines, their own discipleship with me. Yes, beloved ones, I desire to take certain of you on as my own Chelas, and this shall be, of course, by that merit. You understand, beloved, that the standards I hold must of necessity be high, for the very reason so implied that in the past, when I have not held to that level, many have misused my light, and my coat, and my cane. Yes, beloved ones, they have misused me, and I cannot allow it. For you see, the hour comes down to certain opportunities, and when the door does close, I can tell you it will swing shut, and no one, ascended or unascended, will be able to open that door. Therefore I desire to see this grant stay and be replenished by those who receive a portion, multiply it and multiply it again, and multiply it by the power of the 10, and return that just portion to me. I will have my angels robed in miracle fire of the violet flame, who shall come to you, who shall teach you, who shall test you, who shall observe you, and who shall report back to me whether you are eligible to receive a grant, and if so, the hour when the grant may be conferred, however small or great, to assist you." On October 12, 1992, Saint Germain spoke again of this grant. He said, "With a grant of so much violet flame and the capacity for sponsorship, I desire to sponsor those of you who will make it the centerpiece of your life, to command angels and to determine how you will clock the hours, to remind yourselves that each hour on the hour you may give a 30-second call in the name of Sanat Kumara, consisting of commands to the legions of light for the liberation of the oppressed souls of an entire world." On November 3, 1985, Saint Germain gave us an endearing glimpse of how he and El Moria worked together as gurus. Saint Germain said, "Each and every pearl and dictation, I tell you, contains such alchemical keys that if you could perceive how far you could advance on the path in becoming that alchemist, you would begin immediately. In fact, there would be a stampede to the door. And that is exactly what happens at inner levels when souls finally wake up and realize that their greatest desire is to study with me at the cave of symbols. Beloved ones, I do not accept all. I send them first to the Royal Teton Retreat and then to the chief of the Darjeeling Council of the Great White Brotherhood, beloved El Moria. And when they become chelas of whom El Moria can be proud, whom Moria can trust, the Chohan of the first ray will say, Saint Germain, may I present to you my chela, who is my trusted friend. Wouldn't you give anything to have that experience? To be worthy of being called El Moria's chela and trusted friend. Trusted friend. You know what I think the most important virtue in the whole world is? It's the virtue whereby people can count on you. That you are dependable, you will be there for them, you will be there when they need you. I think that is the most important gift that anyone can give to life, is to have that sacred trust and to keep it, whereby all others can know that there is a link to God's trust through you. I tell you, it is a moment in Darjeeling when I am invited to that occasion each year, when a few chelas can be presented to me, and I may say, Come now, come to the cave of symbols. Beloved hearts, it must be so, for I am a serious professor. I am serious in my art, for I see the world slipping down the drain. I see many souls being lost daily. End of quote. Saint Germain looks to his chelas to buy him the time he needs to save the world. On February 7, 1987, Saint Germain said, The hour of opportunity is at hand, and has never been greater for the victory of a universal enlightenment and an age of peace. Beloved ones, I implore you, and I come to ask you this. I ask you to buy 50 years of peace for me, and I will show you what the heavenly hosts working through you may do to save this planet utterly from disease and death and war. 50 years of peace. Do we have the violet flame in our bank account to pay for that and to make it happen? That is a big challenge, considering the war that does not stop and is not stopped, the disgraceful mismanagement of the situation in Yugoslavia by the European nations and the United States. It's a shame upon every single one of us that this darkness goes on in that land, and we do not intervene, and did not do so when the opportunity should have been taken. On July 4th, 1992, Saint Germain said, You must know that every moment you can spend before your altar and with your decrees, you are buying time for Saint Germain. Saint Germain multiplies your efforts. On July 4th, 1989, he declared, I, Saint Germain, will be present each Saturday night at your services. I shall place myself here and at the altars and sanctuaries of every keeper of the flame. I shall multiply your calls with an extraordinary momentum of my causal body. Saint Germain said on August 30th, 1992, Let all know that there is almost no limit to the capacity of the chela who knows the fire of the heart, who will pace himself and work directly with me, for I will be there, I will empower, and I will give my own graces. On December 29, 1991, Saint Germain made the promise, Be willing to give and give again, for I, Saint Germain, make you this promise, that those who stand and still stand with me in Omritas in these hours, giving tirelessly the calls to the violet flame, and all other calls that you give, shall have a reward personally from me, from my causal body, that shall be great indeed. And it shall be great indeed because my gratitude to you shall be great indeed, forever and forever. When all is said and done, there is only one virtue Saint Germain asks of us. On December 2, 1984, he said, Blessed are ye who have tarried and waited for my message to you. How hard it is to tarry unto the coming of the Lord. How hard it is to refrain from giving in to the agitations of the world. He that endures to the end of his karma shall be saved, and I shall be the one to impart that salvation, for it is my role in this Aquarian age and with the violet flame. Endure to the end, and it is my hand that shall pull thee up. You feel that great hand coming down, taking your hand and pulling you up. I ask only one virtue. It is endurance. To have endurance requires trust and faith in the one who asks it of thee. Endure in the service of freedom, and thou shalt be saved. At Freedom 1992, Saint Germain gave a prophecy that is both sobering and encouraging at the same time. He said, "We have spoken for many decades. We have spoken again and again. What is the missing something that will now cause the world to catch on fire? Well, first of all, beloved, you must become the sparks that fly, and more than sparks, intense fires. You must become the igniters of a world of light bearers. And if you go down again into the density of the karma with which you were born, and you do not sweep it away by the violet flame and by calls to me, well, what shall I do? I think I shall weep. For if you do not so become and so do, beloved ones, I predict and I prophesy that a decade from now we will say we have lost. So, beloved, I come to you with the greatest determination, and I ask you to think upon me in so many past civilizations, when you were my very own, and when we did strive together against forces of darkness, who did destroy higher civilizations, far higher than the one you now enjoy. Yes, beloved ones, those were the days when the people of light in general did not have the knowledge of the law and the empowerment that you have. You have this empowerment. You have what it takes in the call. God gave to me the dispensation to give to this century the power of the call and the name, Yud-He, Vav-He, I am that I am. Yes, God allowed me to open the vision to you of your mighty I am presence. On October 14, 1991, Saint Germain exhorted us to make the most of the dispensation of the violet flame. He said, I ask you, beloved ones, will you not consider so great a dispensation, and the price that I have paid for it, and the price that I have had to pay again and again for certain individuals' misuse of that violet flame? And will you not realize that you must take this dispensation and multiply it again and again and again, that we all might be redeemed and not wind up with a karma of neglect, so that in the very next opportunity when we all go before the karmic board, millions of us together, we ask for more violet flame and dispensations for the planet. The karmic board shall receive us with open arms and shall say to one and all, well done, thou good and faithful servants of the Most High God and of the seventh ray and of Saint Germain. Thou hast been faithful over the little things, the few things of decreeing daily for the seventh ray, to banish darkness in the earth. We shall make thee one and all rulers over many. I would like to leave you with some closing thoughts from beloved Saint Germain. On June 8th, 1986, he said, Blessed ones, this nation I have dedicated for you personally. I have sponsored your birth or immigration here. Understand this. We do not see people in terms of masses. We see people in terms of the individual and his supreme worth. Think you not that we do not have the capacity to know you and to befriend you one by one, that we do not recognize you on the instant and remember every lifetime where we have served together and forged and won some link in the universal chain of hierarchy for freedom and not bondage. Beloved ones, I do know you, and I know you well. How oft in the night I have come to your bedside and stood as I did when Joseph of old at the bed of the sleeping Jesus, there to pray fervently to God that you, beloved, might realize the perfecting of the heart in the paths of righteousness, that the pure Christ might appear in this life in you. O beloved, I am ever the watchful presence of Father among you. On May 30th, 1987, he said, I am Saint Germain, your brother, your friend. Remember me, beloved, for I have need of friends if I am to work a miracle or two in this age. I need many friends and keepers of the flame. I am hopeful in the profoundest sense of the word that you will hear my cry and know this, that God our Father has truly entrusted to my heart an opportunity to save this nation under God, not I alone, but many masters of light. There is a special, special blessing he gives to my heart that is a catalyst and necessary, and yet I cannot bring it forth without friends on earth. Move on, beloved. Move on to the new age. I extend my hand to hold your own. I can do no more, beloved, until you reach out and understand what I can do for your soul in the age of Aquarius. February 7th, 1987. Oh, beloved, let me help you. Receive me now as your friend forever. May 1st, 1991. I, for one, count myself as a keeper of the flame, and I shall keep the flame of life as long as there is a single devout keeper of the flame in embodiment. Oh, how I love thee. Finally, he said, April 16, 1988, I am in the heart of the violet singing flame. I await thy call. Let us prepare for his dictation. We'd like to sing to him. The Chila Star-Spangled Banner, number 703. Please stand and give your fiats.
Of
Let us sing number 752, Dear Omritas, the Violet Planet. As soon as everyone is returned, we are ready. Please make your fiats to Omritas. You want to sing Waltz of the Flame, or do you want to quit? Waltz of the Flame. Okay, let's sing it. Make your fiats, please.
Salve guardián de la llama, yo soy vuestro caballero comendador Saint Germain, os bendigo y os amo por siempre.
Ciudad.